2, 1, and now we're good.
All right, now we're good. Okay, welcome back to another Meal Prep Live with Better University. Today we're going to be making turkey chili, and we also have Dan and my sister Victoria.
Hello.
You can't see them, but we're also on YouTube and Twitch if you guys want to check that out.
Yes. So guys,
I'm actually gonna turn you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me turn you for a sec.
Hello.
There you go.
We have some really big news that we want to share with you guys today. So, first and foremost, we need to apologize because this is our last show here. This is our last show here in this kitchen. Sorry, didn't mean to trick you too much there. So, as some of you may be aware, those of you who've been watching us from the very beginning, not too long ago, I changed locations where I was running my business. I'm now working out of All Access Fitness in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. We are going to be moving our show to the Shrewsbury location. So we're going to be partnering up with All Access Fitness to bring you an awesome live talk show Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. So yes, please note that. We're not going to be doing the show on Sunday nights anymore. On Sunday mornings anymore. We're going to be moving the show to Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. We'll be doing them at All Access Fitness. Anyone who's local and in the area, these will be open audience live shows. So anyone who's around, available, you're more than welcome to come down, sit in the audience, watch us film live, ask questions, and even participate in some of our demonstrations.
Yes.
So, some things to note about this change and what's going to be happening. We're not going to be doing the cooking segment of our show anymore. Now please, don't get alarmed, don't be upset. We are still going to be filming meal preps. Danielle's going to be doing a little bit more of that when she's doing her own meal preps and the meal preps that we do for you guys each week. But they're going to be a little bit more abbreviated, and it's going to be focused more on showing you the recipe and breaking it down rather than us going through the whole process of cooking. So that being said, that means the show that we're going to be moving into and doing is going to allow us to kind of backtrack to what we started this whole project for and about, to let us really focus more on getting back to helping you guys navigate the crazy world of living your best life. So we're going to be going back to basics, we're going to be going back to the talk show format, and it should be really exciting. And again, like I said, we're going to have demonstrations, we're going to be bringing people in for interviews, we're talking trainers, massage therapists, physical therapists, clients, people who have, worked their way up from almost nothing and found their best life, their healthiest life. And we're going to try and break down all of this into a simple, easy to digest formula that will hopefully help you guys also figure out and live your best life. So our new show is going to be called Fitlosophy. It is going to be focused on the complete mind, body, and soul experience of living your best life and the fitness journey. So, without further ado, let's get our last show on the way.
Last show!
Again, last show here, not last show ever.
Yes. Sunday show.
Noted.
Moving to Wednesdays.
Woo!
Alright.
Chili
It
time.
is 11:11.
Woo! Make a wish.
Yay! Alright, so like I said, we're going to be making turkey chili. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up some onion and pepper. Let's do that first. Where is your cutting board?
Right in front of you, down low. Yup.
Awesome. Alright.
Lots to choose from.
Lots to choose from. Okay, so red bell pepper, yellow onion, I need a knife. Doing well today. Doing well. Okay. For spices, I have cayenne pepper, sea salt, oregano, cumin, and chili powder. And then I'm going to be adding kidney beans, red kidney beans, diced tomato, chicken broth, and corn. Very simple. And then I'm using lean ground turkey.
So you should show them how you cut an onion.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So
Believe it or
Actually,
not.
yeah.
So what I do is I just cut the top and the bottom off. Just like that.
So for those of you watching on Instagram, if you check out our YouTube or Twitch channel, you'll have a top-down view of what Danielle's doing right now for all the cutting and prep work.
Yes, much better view instead of my side. So this has a little bruise on it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna cut that off. Oh, this one isn't the best.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Oh, I see. There's
Yeah, it's like a little
browning on
brown.
the
So
inside, yeah.
what I do is I just kind of peel it, this little film
Yeah.
off, because I don't want to eat this.
Sorry, you'll have a little less onion in your chili.
Yes, that is fine with me.
So we talked a little bit about spices that we weren't sure like how they were made or what they were last week. So you just mentioned the spice cumin. What the heck is that?
Great question. I have no idea.
All right, our turn.
Alrighty.
What is
No clue.
cumin?
Time to research.
I always love that. It's funny because I've been cooking
It's always
for so
interesting.
long,
Yeah.
and I use all these spices just because I'm told to, but I don't really know where they originate from or like what they are.
So like fennel, is that it?
Yeah.
Like fennel seeds.
Yep.
Looks literally just like that.
Oh,
That's kind of crazy.
okay.
Also, we'll be able to show you guys what we have on our screens
Yes.
on Wednesdays now.
Yes, that's the other big thing about us moving and changing the formatting of the show.
So much better.
Is we're gonna be able to kind of have other screens open and show you guys stuff that we're going over. We're planning on doing more small educational videos that we'll be uploading to our YouTube channel, and we'll be using the show that we do to kind of go over some of those and rehash and recap.
Yes. So I'm just gonna put some olive oil in the pan, and then I'm gonna do the veggies. I'm just gonna throw them in there.
Yep, and feel free to throw out some topics for us as usual.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
anything you want us to discuss?
We've got a whole long laundry list of things that we want to discuss, but of course, keeping in mind we do this show for you guys, we'd much rather discuss topics that you guys want.
Yes. And my eyes are watering.
Oh gosh, I feel like as I age, so does that allergy or whatever that is.
So I had a roommate who had a pair of goggles
Yes.
that
Yes, I've
was
seen
specifically
literally onion
for
goggles.
cutting
Helpful in
onions.
the moment.
They make I think there's a few different brands now, isn't that funny?
Right.
They're literally like goggles that you could swim in the pool with, that's it.
I used to just put my scarf over my nose and
Oh
Like, I
yeah.
want to say over your eyes, I'm like, oh my gosh, you were cutting onions
Over my-
blindfolded?
over my nose.
Also if you like breathe through your mouth instead
Yes.
of your nose, that helps, but
That
then
helps.
I forget
Oh.
it usually. And if you chew gum, apparently that helps too.
Huh. Interesting.
It's all about like the sinuses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only called, oh, what's the name of it?
So, needless to say, you probably shouldn't be snorting onion.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, if you want.
Yeah, YOLO, right? When that was like a big thing and everybody was like
YOLO?
saying it over and over and over again,
God.
no one was ever using it like, oh, YOLO, better go volunteer at a soup kitchen. No, it was always like doing stupid things.
Stupid things,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, wait, just because you only live once doesn't mean you should tempt fate.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all it was used for.
I know.
Well, making poor decisions today, YOLO.
That's pretty much the gist of it.
That is it, yep.
That's it.
You only live once.
Going to the gym to get healthy, YOLO.
Yeah.
Meal prepping because I can manage my nutrition, YOLO.
It like just sounds weird when you say it like that.
I know,
But it
so-
makes more sense.
it does make
doesn't
more
it?
sense.
Yeah. It does.
Jeez. That's funny. Alright, so the onion is done. I actually missed some because it was kind of nasty at points.
It's
But it's
ain't
fine.
nobody got time for that.
So what makes an onion nasty? When it's like brownish.
Yeah, when it has brown and soft areas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Black too.
Black, yep.
Mostly black, yeah. Onions.
Which it can be deceiving because you can't really see inside of an onion
Right.
versus an apple you can tell with a bruise on the outside.
So, cumin is used more in curry and chili type flavors.
Ah.
Thank you for that one. I'm going to assume Pike Jeff is how you are spelling that or pronouncing that. Thank you for commenting in on what we're doing. So he's absolutely right too. I've never really seen cumin used in anything that doesn't have a little bit of a spice to it, or that smoky texture flavoring.
Smoky texture.
Smoky texture.
Smoky texture.
You could have a smoky
like
texture.
Like a weird shard.
Yeah, I guess. No. I don't know.
Well, they make a season or a flavoring called liquid smoke.
Yes,
they
actually,
do,
and you have to use very little.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
very little.
A little bit goes a long way with that stuff. But like, if you like the taste of smoked meats,
it's kind of
without having to go through the
is.
16-hour process of smoking it,
Yeah.
you can add a little bit of liquid smoke to a dish, and it'll give it that.
I wonder if it's just like the excess of that process.
Let's
you know?
Let's do a little research. What is
That would
liquid
be
smoke?
weird. Yeah, what is that?
But yeah, exactly. How do
Honestly,
they?
I can't see it being anything too good.
Good, yeah.
Like this doesn't sounds like carcinogens to me.
Mm.
Let's see.
So they got a whole onion and then a whole pepper that I'm chopping right now.
Oh, apparently you can have smoked or non-smoked cumin.
Oh wow, cool.
That's really cool
Actually,
information.
I was just thinking when we were looking at what cumin
Make it up
is, the
today,
little
Ellie.
like seed type thing.
Mhm.
I wonder why they crush it up versus they keep some of them whole. Like the, what is it, fennel that I said? They keep those whole and they crush the cumin up, right?
It's probably, my guess would probably be for like moisture absorption.
Yeah.
Like when they put silica in.
I think
And
you're right.
before.
They capture and condense the smoke.
Yeah, see?
Wow!
There you go.
So,
Hold on,
Huh.
this is just my first thing. Remember, we look at 3. Or something like
Resources.
that, right? So that was the first one, was what Danielle said.
condensed
Capturing.
smoke.
Isn't that crazy?
So what do they do? Like take the vapor and then like super chill it so it
Yeah, maybe.
turns into a liquid or something?
Yeah, capture and condense. Through a
Interesting.
chamber.
Huh.
That's cool.
Very, yes, and it's carcinogen. It has
Well,
carcinogens.
I mean,
Well,
Yes.
it's
yeah.
smoke.
So we were kind of right. We kind of knew what the heck this was. Alright, this one seems alright. I think this might be the same thing.
A diverse category of brown liquids that add a dash of savory flavor to a dish.
Wow. That sounds
All
great.
right.
That's quite a way to describe that.
Sounds safe.
Sounds great. All right, onion and pepper chopped on a skillet with olive oil. I'm gonna put this over here.
Yeah. Literally, I think condensed smoke. That's wild.
Right. So
That's
the next
so
time
crazy to me.
maybe I won't be using that anymore. Not that I use it super often.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just blown away by this.
Right.
I just
Because, I mean, what
want to
else?
see the process of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll bet you can find a video on that. How do you make liquid smoke? Come on, YouTube, don't let us down.
Everyone
Liquid
else should be
smoke.
looking this up with us. I know, I wish we could share our videos with
Oh,
them
of
now.
course we can. I'll figure this
Ooh,
out.
yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll figure this out.
Okay. So this just needs to soften a bit.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Bye. Foodie. Food. I guess I
so
can
good
start
that
drink.
top down view over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I can start doing the beans. So for the beans, I'm just gonna keep them as they are. I'm just gonna drain them and rinse them.
Yes. So what kind of beans did you get? Are they just regular?
So yeah, I just got kidney beans, no salt added, so it's just
Okay. You have
plain.
nothing else to add. It's really hard to find that.
prepared kidney beans, water, calcium, chloride.
Nice. It's so hard to find those. If you go to like just because
A
she
traditional.
goes to Wegmans,
Yeah.
so if you just go to like Stop and
Good
Shop
old
or
Wegmans.
Shaw's and stuff like that, it's very difficult to find the no sugar, no salt added canned vegetables.
Yeah.
Very. But if you wash off you can wash the salt off your veggies. So
Is this a can opener?
canned vegetables.
Yes.
How the? I don't think I've ever used one like this in my entire life. I don't know how to use this.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, everybody. We're gonna pause that video real quick so I can assist. Whoa, whoa, okay,
Got lots
okay.
going on.
Whoa, what's going on, buddy?
No clue.
Praise the last show.
Yep. Last show.
Hmm.
Do you have another one?
What's the matter?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. There it is. All right, that one's right.
Shh, there's nobody out there.
So-
Relax.
Ooh, this is a nice group.
Like Jeff said,
The
She
dog.
I figured it
waves.
out. Here we go.
after we figure out our can opener,
Is
here,
it not-
we'll read this
Is that
comment.
not open? What is it doing? Oh, okay. So it opens it a little bit differently. It's gonna actually pop the outside off.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
look at that.
What?
I actually like that a lot more than this
I
because
guess this is the new can opener that Jamie got.
cool. I like
You're gonna have
that.
to show us.
Okay.
Did it work?
Let go! It's not letting go! Ah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
See, look at that. Takes the whole top right off.
That's
That's so
awesome.
You guys see that?
Different can opener.
Instead of
I like that. And also you can just fling it into the trash or something, right?
Well, here's the other thing. You can actually like reseal the can.
Oh.
Although I don't.
yes, you can just. It's just basically like the cover.
Yeah.
What?
So you can decide which one you want to use.
That's
That one's.
amazing.
This one, the reason we replaced it
Yeah.
is because it just does not work very well.
Well, that's an awesome one.
I'll tell you, a good can opener is really hard to find.
It is. It's very difficult to find.
Alright, so he says a cheap way of smoking anything is in a saucepan over heat covered with foil, and you just have to play with the heat. True. You can capture it yourself. You can capture the smoke yourself.
So you can make your own liquid smoke.
Yeah.
Liquid smell.
This is some really cool info.
Yeah.
I know.
Jeff, thank you so much for tuning in today and checking this out. Like, I am learning today. Thank you.
Yeah, and you do get different flavors, right? From the different wood that
I would
you
imagine
use.
so.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Taryn would know that all too well.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna now that that's taken care of, I'm gonna put that how to capture liquid smoke video back up.
Alright, that's
Is this even on? It is on. Turn you up. Okay. All right. So I have another can. Let's see if I can do this. Ah, so cool.
Look at that.
Wow, this thing's nifty.
Right?
I want one.
Yes.
I need to ask her. That's awesome.
Yes.
She finds the coolest toys
Yeah.
and gadgets, I swear.
I know, like
awesome.
the all recipes, the double.
Oh yeah, that double
Yeah,
thing.
I love that.
That one's great.
It's funny, look. I mean, it's only a matter of but that's it.
Right. So for those of you watching our Twitch and or YouTube channel, one of the other reasons I wanted to play this video is to kind of give you a little sneak peek of how we'll be able to be doing our stream, but also check videos out and kind of give you the 411 on what's going
I
on.
want to see.
Yeah, look at that.
So if you just look at
Yeah, look
Victoria's
at
screen,
this
you
is
get a
how
better
it
idea.
Oh, that's so
I
funny.
know, it's how, isn't that
cool.
cool?
So high tech. Alright, so we're still.
So much going on
I
with that.
I know. We're just gonna overload all of you with everything.
It's not that bad.
Look at that.
The chamber.
What?
We're just watching that
Just
video.
watching
Oh.
how it's made.
How it's
Wait,
made.
that's how it's
I love
made?
that
I
show.
love
It's
how
such a
it's
good show.
made.
It's
It's a
amazing.
great show. God, this thing is just unreal.
Right? I love that can opener.
Like, that's it. And then, boom.
But it's funny because you look at it, you're like, how does this work? I don't
Yeah, because you're so
understand.
used to seeing like a razor blade of some
Right.
sort.
Also, fun tip, guys, you should never leave your cans in the fridge. Do not store it unless you can feel it, right? Because it oxidizes.
Yes.
So if you're gonna, yep, you gotta
So take it out of the can. So say I only
Don't
use
store it in
half
cans.
of this can
Correct.
of corn. You want to take it out of the can and put it in a container.
I feel like that's not a
That's
totally
not.
known.
Yeah,
No, that
that's
isn't. I actually didn't even know that.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
wow, yeah, so don't store your stuff in cans.
Good to know. Really good to know.
That's why I usually get the chicken broth that is a bigger one that's
Yeah.
not in the can, so you can
Because you
seal
typically
it.
don't use all of it. Yep. Good point. Alright, so this is pretty good. These are softened up a bit, the onion and pepper. I'm going to toss in my ground turkey, mash that up, and then I'm also going to do the seasonings with that as well so it can cook into it.
So it looks like everything's gonna fit.
I know!
It's deceiving. It's very
yeah.
deceiving.
Yeah.
I also don't have the best spatial.
Actually, men, I've read about this, have better spatial
Karen can pack a damn car.
intelligence. Yeah,
Let me
they're
tell ya.
packing, yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yep.
I'm really good at like directions though and like knowing my surroundings.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
not.
if I go
but-
somewhere once, like I can
Usually,
get there
yeah.
without, yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I'm so good at navigating my way around New England, like
Yeah.
Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, all that. Because
Yeah.
I've gotten lost so many times
Yeah.
that I just kind of know where everything is now.
Yeah.
And then of course, well, just get on the road that says north if you're heading back home.
Exactly.
Oops. Alright, so turkey chili. Turkey, onions, pepper so far.
You ever made chili with bison?
No, I've actually never bought bison. I've only had it at
Veal.
Ted's Montana Grill, but it was really good.
We use a lot of veal.
Really?
Well, I'll bet veal chili is very tender.
Yeah. Well, Taryn.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of like what I buy.
Yeah. Yeah, Taryn hunts. And we,
Taryn is my
made a
boyfriend.
bunch- Taryn is her boyfriend.
Assuming you all know.
Yeah,
Remember, don't assume.
I know, we can't.
That's why I just say my boyfriend. Alright, so that's gonna be on there for a little bit. I'm gonna do the seasonings now so that can cook into the meat.
We've got the meat.
The meat!
That smells so good. Chili always smells amazing.
Yeah, it does.
I made
So
pulled
you got
pork
cheese.
the other night in my crock pot.
Really?
So amazing crock pots. Like,
I
just
love
sit,
crock
it smells
pots.
so good, just the whole thing's a good process.
Nice.
What are you looking for?
Tablespoon. I guess I can
Should
just
be a
use.
tablespoon in there. No?
Nope.
Oh my.
We have a question.
Yes.
Is bison
Oh, wait.
a game flavor
Yes.
Ah.
from Australia?
Yes, so bison does have a gamier flavor.
Yes.
The fattier the meat though, it's definitely gonna be a lot more flavorful, but definitely the leaner the bison, the more you're gonna get the kind of that gamey taste.
I like it.
But it's definitely, if you've ever had venison or bear, it's nowhere near as gamey as venison or bear.
Bear.
Bear, you've had bear.
Woo!
Yeah.
Damn. Savage.
Bear is good, but it is very gamey.
Ugh.
Interesting.
Oh, my
Where'd you get that? How?
Oh geez, I don't even remember.
Oh,
My
jeez.
goodness.
It was.
Maybe
I
we
believe
don't
it,
wanna
well, I
know.
believe it was at the same restaurant where I had ostrich before. It was.
What?
It was not in Massachusetts.
That
By the
makes
way,
sense.
back it up, I meant venison, not veal.
I know you did that.
I
That's why you guys
think,
like
really,
that.
baby cows. Huh? Okay.
No, Taryn does not do that.
He doesn't hunt baby cows.
Is that farmer?
Sorry.
I like knew what you meant, but I was like, eh.
I didn't even register that.
Yeah, supposedly, bison is a little bit healthier for you than your average bovine meat, and I think it's mostly because they eat more grasses
Yeah,
than
the
anything
lean
else.
part.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's actually another interesting jumping point. So if you've ever gotten grass-fed beef before and noticed that there is a distinctly different flavor than your traditional beefs, it is because it's on a diet of mostly grasses as opposed to grains.
Which is natural.
Yes.
Which is how it should be.
Yes.
So every time you see a silo, those things that hold the grains, that's they're not feeding the animals the correct thing. I think even chickens need to eat grass.
Really?
I don't even know if
I thought they just ate bugs.
or bugs, yeah. but not necessarily the grains that they give them.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to fatten them
Fatten
up.
them, yeah,
You know,
quickly.
More money.
more money, more problems.
Oh yeah. Okay. We did chili powder, cumin, oregano. Hi, bud. You're interested in this chili today, huh?
He's like, yeah, you got turkey in it.
It's damn right.
No problem. Thank you for the info too.
Okay, and then
Bitter.
salt. Gotta get that salt. And
What kind of salt are you using today?
whatever I found in your cabinet.
All right, it's just the sea salt. Then.
It's just sea salt.
And that is the same as table salt. Basically, salt content wise. People think
Well,
that sea salt's healthier.
So here's the thing, and I actually got into a really big debate with a friend of mine before, whose father is a very well-known chemist.
Okay.
And I was trying to explain to him that, there's different salts that have, different minerals, they can be considered healthier for you. He's like, no, all salts are the same, all salt. And we're just arguing back and forth,
That's
back and
definitely
forth.
not true.
And finally we realized, oh, wait a minute. You're looking at it from chemical compounds.
Oh.
Yes, NaCl is NaCl is NaCl. I'm looking at it from what are the trace minerals
Yeah.
that you're getting from the same
Yeah.
area that you're getting that salt from. So we finally realized that we were arguing two completely
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
So for those of you out there who have heard like, oh, this salt is healthier or this salt is healthier, it isn't the salt itself that's better for you. It's the trace minerals that you're getting
Yes.
as a result of getting salt from that area or where it's coming from. So for instance, your pink Himalayan salt is going to have different trace minerals than your average sea salt. But it is still salt.
Yes.
They are exactly the
Exactly.
same chemical
Salt is
compounds.
salt.
There we go. That's a good explanation, actually. I have a lot of people say that to me. Oh, I just use sea salt. I'm like, but I mean, I work in a medical setting, so to me, that's the same
Salt is
thing.
salt,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like Dan said, it's the mineral content. Yeah, they are different, but they're also the same.
Da-da-da. All right, now we're going to put in the kidney beans and corn. Beep.
See, isn't that Pam great?
Yeah, wow.
Yes,
It is
Amazing.
I'm almost there.
Amazing.
Still got some diced tomatoes, and
It will be fun.
I think it will be. All right. Just mix that together, and then we're gonna do the tomatoes and chicken broth. And then
So
you're just
easy.
gonna let it get to
Simmer.
a boil, and then simmer for about 35-ish minutes, depending.
Fair enough.
Okay. Then our tomatoes. This nifty thing.
That's so cool.
She's. No, it's a shame. I don't think Jamie's gonna get home before we finish up the show, so I can't even ask her
Oh,
where that's
It
from.
says good cook on it.
good cook.
Good cook. Amazon? I would assume. Okay.
Jeff, you bring up a very good point. So, with the amount that you're going to be using in your dishes for your salts, it's going to be pretty negligible.
Yeah.
But it does have a different taste profile.
Yes, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Yep. That is
So,
true.
very good point. Very good point. Thank you.
What did he say? He said it's not really relevant.
Well, it's just it has less to do with what you're getting from those minerals than it does
Yeah.
more what the flavor profile
Yeah,
is going to be.
This is the truth. Okay. And then about a cup of chicken broth, and that is it.
Oh,
Nice.
I've never
What's your excuse?
added chicken broth to my chili before.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Me either.
Really? Well,
Have you ever?
Well, I tested this recipe.
Okay. When you do your chilies, do you ever try to drain out some of the excess water as it cooks, or do you prefer
Like as in
yeah,
do
to
it
kind
right
of change
now?
the texture of the final product?
To be honest, I don't really cook chili often.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've never really cooked it.
So that'll be a good note for me to throw out for all of you
Yeah.
watching. So if you prefer your chili a little bit soupy or watery,
Yes.
then you definitely want to add some liquids to it as you're cooking it. But if you prefer it to be more of a hearty, thicker
Like this.
chili, then you want to actually try to skim or separate some of the liquid from it as you're going through the cooking process.
And then also you can even do like cornstarch or
Yeah, to
add
thicken
a
it.
little bit of flour if you want to thicken.
Yeah.
Very small amount. That goes like a really long way when you add thickeners. So.
Yep, so you can pretty much, depending on how you like it, like Dan said, you can either just leave it as it is, or you can add as much chicken broth as you want if you like it soupier. But this is like perfect texture for me.
Yeah, and also like I was looking up a recipe for some crock pot pineapple chicken, and we were like, oh, we don't want to do that. And you can modify anything
Yeah,
the way that you
that's
want,
a good point.
you know? And people
Any
just
recipe.
are so strict to the recipe.
Yeah, they're like,
If you-
oh, it
if
has
you
this
don't
one
think
ingredient,
that
I can
sounds
do it.
good, then don't put it in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
goodness.
a good
You
point.
know?
I remember when I first started
yeah.
kind of navigating my way around the kitchen, and I'd run into a recipe be like, well, I don't have any of that. This is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Let's go with that, see what happens.
Hey, that's how you learn.
Yeah. And I mean, you can substitute certain things with applesauce.
Yes. Yep.
Like butter and cookies and stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we are going to let that sit on low for a little bit. So this is it.
There we go.
And then we're gonna put this bad boy on low. Done.
Woo.
That's it.
Okay. Oh, let me turn this. Why is this thing in the way today? Oh, 'cause we
normally I
flipped
put it in the
Is that
front,
why?
yeah.
Oh,
That's funny.
jeez.
So.
Open it. Yeah. You should be an engineer. Alrighty.
Looking good.
Just give us a quick second, folks, while we switch our cameras over.
Last one with weird lighting.
Yes. Oh, that's the
So
other
lighting,
thing, too.
like, oh my
We'll
god,
have
yeah.
much better lighting. Excuse me,
Yes.
buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be a much better setup.
Okay.
Alright.
All right. So, as we were explaining at the start of the show, so for those of you who have just joined us or are just joining us, this is our last Sunday cooking show. We are still going to be doing our show, our talk show. It's going to be moving to Wednesday nights, 6 p.m. We're going to be working out of All Access Fitness in Shrewsbury. We've got a nice space set up there where we're going to do various topics, live demonstrations, video demonstrations where we break them down. We'll be bringing people in for interviews, and we'll also be filming in front of a live studio audience. So, again, for those of you who are local and want to come on down, Wednesday nights, 6 p.m., All Access Fitness in Shrewsbury. You can come on in, you can take a seat, you can enjoy the show, and then maybe sign up for a gym membership if you like the place. Yeah? Yeah? But, that being said, our topic for today is actually very relevant to
Yes.
what's going on. And today's topic is reinventing yourself.
Yes.
So I want to give that a little bit of context to what we're doing, and then a little bit of context to what I mean by that as it relates to us, you, the individual. So when we first kind of conceived Better University, we were trying to figure out, all right, what is it that we want to do? And our mission was, we wanted to help people who are at any stage and any phase of their fitness journey, of trying to figure out how to live their best life, how to eat healthier, how to move more, how to just be generally happier and healthier. Now, that's a pretty tall order, especially if you don't have much direction. So we started the show based around that theory. Our meal prep service that we do, that was also based around that theory. Some of the other things that we've tried to see if it gained any traction but didn't. Any project that we've undertook, any idea that we've had, it's all come down to that same central theme of we want to help everyone succeed and find their best version. So we started to realize we were kind of getting a little bit convoluted. We were diving off on very complex topics and issues, and we were starting to drift away from what it was that we originally set out to do. And we also started to realize that by focusing the show around the food, we were missing out on a lot of the bigger aspects of self-actualization, which is all up here and how you interact with the physical world. Yes, food is very important. Your relationship with food, super important, very, very important. But that's only a very small portion of everything. So we started asking ourselves, all right, how can we continue to help to educate people on nutrition by, giving you guys the meal prep, stuff like that, but also refocusing our own lens so we could get back to, well, how do I go about starting meal prepping? How do I get to the point where I can start to do these things as opposed to just, oh, hey, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it. Well, it's not that easy. It's simple, but it's not that easy. And that's another theme that we do tend to kind of circle back around to is everything that is encompassing of health, fitness, wellness. Simple, not easy.
I love that.
Right?
Simple, not easy. Yeah.
So what I want to do next is kind of jump a little bit more into the reinventing yourself, but more on a personal level. So times, moments, areas of our life where we've decided, hey, this direction that I'm heading in just isn't working for me. I'm gonna change direction. Because what you need to understand is you are not a tree. You don't have roots holding you in place or keeping you in one location. If you're unhappy, if you're not liking the direction something's going, if there are negative or toxic aspects that are in your life, you can get up and go a different direction. Sometimes physically, moving to a different country, a different state, a different place. Train just derailed right there. So, physical location is a big one. Your health. Let's say you have a heart attack and that wakes you up to realize, oh my gosh, I've been eating all of these cholesterol-dense foods, I've been smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, I need to change something or this is it, I'm not gonna make it much longer. So with that in mind, that whole idea of reinventing yourself and finding what vibes with you and what doesn't. So, who'd like to start?
I'll start real quick because mine's quick and recent. I actually walked in the door without a coffee today.
Woo!
So I just have been a lot of anxiety, and what I do with myself to improve on things is just try to do one variable at a time, because to take something on like a whole lifestyle is just very difficult. So for my anxiety, I've been doing certain things, like I started exercising more, so that helps a little bit, but it didn't get rid of it completely. So just adding things onto that, and
but
then
knowing that it's helping.
yes,
And you're on the right path.
exactly.
Yep.
So you cannot do everything at once. It just is not sustainable.
And that's actually the way I used to take on new lifestyle changes. Is I would be like,
yeah.
overload everything.
Go for broke.
And
And
just
then you
go
don't know
boom,
which-
and then it's not
like
sustainable.
which variable helped. I don't know.
Exactly.
So the no caffeine is awesome. So that's
So
it.
how long did that take for you?
Honestly, it's pretty immediate because just my brain slows down, but now that I'm kind of past getting through the headache and stuff. Yeah.
So how long did
seriously,
that-
some people just can't drink it.
How long was that phase of transition into you're good now? Because it's only been a week, so what would you say, a couple days?
A few days, 3-4 days, and then I was like, wow, this is really gonna help. And it's hard.
Yeah.
I love my Starbucks, but it's saving me money and it's saving me
Nice.
anxiety.
Nice,
So
very
that's
nice.
it.
It's all good.
You just go off of that for your
For what?
what you used to do and do everything at once.
Oh yeah, I would
Like with
just
dairy. You're
say
sort of
the
saying about the
way
dairy.
I take on new challenges is a lot different than the way I used to. Before, like I said, I would just change everything at once. And like she said, you don't know what variable is helping you, so it's really not sustainable or helpful in any way. So the way I look at it now is, of course, it's a slower method of just changing one variable, but it's more efficient, because then you can then look at that variable and see if it's helping you or not, and just continue forward. So I would say for me, the way I not only make a change, but also the way I look at life is a lot different.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say there was really an instance. It was just more of a realization of I'm not getting to where I want to go. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I doing to try to get there? And I just kind of reassessed that, and now I'm just changing that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I encounter so much of that in my profession, especially when I meet people for the first time and we start going through the assessment. It's like, all right, what do you want? It's like, oh, I want to drop 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I want to build, 25 pounds of muscle. I want to be healthy. I want to be fit. I want to lift all this weight. It's like, whoa, slow down.
Yeah.
Now, not to be insulting, because I've been there too.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. I used to think, oh, go for broke, change everything. You can't just do one thing. It has to be everything.
Right.
And you just always get so burnt out.
Black and white.
So I can't tell you just the number of people I've encountered who will start with a really good routine, but it's a very rigid routine. It's very strict. Like 5 days a week in the gym. All of your meals are prepped and ready to go. You're weighing and measuring yourself every single day. You're drinking these greens. You're cutting out all the caffeine from your life. And you did all of this all at once. And all of a sudden, you get to day 3 and you're like, I am freaking miserable. I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
I need something that is comfortable and familiar. And then you put it all on the shelf.
Yeah.
All
It all goes back.
And then day 2 comes around and you're like, all right, I'll get back to it. But it's so hard to just do that all over again. Maybe just one more day.
Yeah.
And then 7 weeks later, the 3-day regimen that you overhauled everything on, you gave up on.
Yep.
So it really behooves you to find one thing, one small, little tiny thing, and start to work on that. Whenever I'm working with clients, the first thing that I suggest, especially if weight loss is the goal, or not just weight loss, but just trying to recomposition the body, take control of one meal in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
For some people, that's lunch.
Yeah.
So that means meal prep. So you've always got your lunch measured out, ready to go. Some people aren't quite ready to get to meal prepping yet. So I say, okay, breakfast. It doesn't have to be crazy. You can keep it simple. Something like oatmeal or some quick eggs. You don't have to go super crazy. You take a couple weeks. You get good at that. You start to master that. You're like, oh, all right.
Yes.
And suddenly, you don't have to try to be good at breakfast. You don't have to force yourself to make a good decision. You've just gotten into this routine, into these habits where breakfast is just something that you do, and you do it well. The same thing with your meal preps. The same thing with having your lunches ready to go. Yeah, the first time you meal prep, it's probably going to take you a long time. It's probably going to give you a few headaches. You're probably going to get a little frustrated. Second time, probably still a little frustrated, a couple headaches, but you'll do it quicker. Third time, fourth time, fifth time. All of a sudden, you're not measuring nearly as much as you were when you started. You're eyeballing things a little bit. You've shaved 20, 30 minutes off of the total time that it takes, and all of a sudden, you're starting to become a master. You're developing a skill. Think back to when you were a child, and somebody put a piece of paper in front of you and put a pencil in your hand and said, write your name. How? I'll bet that was the most impossible task for you at that moment. And nowadays, not that I want to assume anything, but how many people watching this show can't write your own name? Can't tie your own shoes? Don't know how to ride a bicycle? We take those little things for granted because they've become such second nature to us. We've practiced them so many times, you don't think about it anymore. You tie your shoe, it's completely automatic. You brush your teeth, completely automatic. You write out your alphabet, completely automatic. Meal prepping, going to the gym, exercise, picking out good things for yourself. They're all the same when you boil it down to their raw components. It is a skill that you have to practice. The more you practice, the better you get at it.
Yes.
The more it becomes an automatic response.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
So-
it is natural. It's just a natural
It's just if
process.
you're willing
yeah.
to continue to practice that skill and
Exactly.
fail.
Yeah. Priorities.
Yes.
It comes down to.
We've
Heather
got
has
a
good
really,
comment.
really good comment from
Yes.
Heather
Oh,
that
should
I
I
want
see?
to
I'll be able to see
bring up
some.
and address.
Yeah, it's good.
No, it's fine. I don't have
All
to
right.
see it.
So, from Heather watching on YouTube, I think a good part of reinventing yourself is figuring out how you are motivated. Some people have an inner drive, some people are motivated by exterior things. Neither is better than the other. figuring that out has been a game changer for her.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right. If you're somebody who's very intrinsically motivated, you have to have that deep-rooted desire, the deep why.
Yes.
For those of you who've been watching for a while, back in the episode where we did the 5 whys, and really getting down to the deep underlying root cause of why it is you want something, that's an intrinsic motivation. Like, oh, I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I want to be healthy for my grandkids. That's a very intrinsic motivation. Or for those people who like to do challenges at gyms where the prize is a gift basket or a free t-shirt, or maybe you get your money back if you are, you execute it and you're the one that wins that challenge. That's an extrinsic motivator. It's something that is outside of you that is motivating you to do it. Like when we say to little kids, oh hey, if you're really good for this amount of money, like you'll get this toy or you can have this. Like that's an extrinsic motivator. So typically we find that youths, young adolescents, are more motivated by extrinsic things, and the older we get, it's a lot easier to focus on those intrinsic things. But as Heather was saying, and she's absolutely right, one is not superior to the other. At the end of the day, whichever one helps you get from A to B without causing you harm, obviously, is the one that's going to work for you.
I was going to say that.
So you want to identify that. You want to figure that out. The biggest changes I made in my life around fitness and health and nutrition was a very intrinsic motivator. For those of you that don't know, I had a heart attack at the age of 25. I was living life very fast, very loose. I was eating poorly, I was binge drinking, I was putting things in my body that should not have been in my body. And when all that came to a head, I realized, oh my God, I could have been dead. That could have been it. Lights out, 25 years old. And that got me to think a little bit more, not just being morbid about my mortality, but what was I doing? What did I really want out of life? And I started to get this intrinsic motivator of wanting to live my best life, to be healthier. And I found that in the gym. I found that in meal prepping. I found that in helping other people find and live their best life. I started hiking more, getting outdoors. I started picking weights up and challenging myself every week, every month to do a little bit better than I did the day before. And that was my intrinsic motivator. But I can think back to when I was a kid and, absolutely causing hell and ruckus, and my mother trying so desperately hard to get me to reel it in. She would have to use extrinsic motivators.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, you can watch an extra half hour of cartoons if you don't, bug the ever-living crap out of me while I'm trying to finish this task.
Ours was the internet. You get a little bit more internet time.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'd actually say, for those of you watching today, that'd be a really good challenge for you to take on today is try to identify in your life something that could be an intrinsic motivator for you to be healthier, or something you can use as an extrinsic motivator to be healthier.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to say something like, oh, hey, I'm going to do a couch to 5K. I'm going to start getting outdoors and, walking a little bit, and then jogging, and then running. And after I do my first 5K, I'm going to treat myself to a really nice pair of running shoes.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
There you go. Extrinsic motivator that is also relevant to the goal you're trying to accomplish.
So that is the first step that you could take in reinventing yourself.
Yes.
Also, I remember you were talking about when you started running a while back.
Yes.
And I'm actually, I've ran before, but I took a break from that. But now I'm hiking and my body just starts to feel like it wants to run now. Like it's at this point where it wants to do more.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even a goal for me, but
Just kind of happened naturally.
Really.
So you bring up a very good point that I definitely want to address as well. When you take that one thing and start to get better at it, there starts to be this spillover effect into other areas of your life. So all of a sudden, you're starting to feel better. Going up and down stairs is easier. You start to feel more motivated to do other good things for yourself because you're starting to find success. Even if it's just a tiny little bit of success, it's still success.
Yeah.
It is still moving you and propelling you in the right direction, and now you've got the spillover effect into other areas.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's
love
a
it.
beautiful thing.
Yeah. So, you guys have any other stories you want to share surrounding
good.
around
I
that?
don't know, that was really awesome.
I think it's nice to give them something that they can do. And like a tool that they can use.
Yeah.
So I think the extrinsic, intrinsic thing.
That's your assignment.
I'm gonna do that as well. Just kind of figure out, like
just little
invent myself and kind of figure out what motivates me. Yeah.
Right. Because I think mine's intrinsic, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
Exactly.
I never really thought about it completely like that. So.
From Rob watching on Twitch, you certainly have motivated me and have made me 100% healthier and determined to succeed.
Oh, I also want to mention off of that, sometimes you have to start your motivation through other people.
Yes.
And then you can pick it up.
Definitely.
That's what I did at least.
You guys remember when I dropped the whole accountability thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good one too.
Yeah.
You know, finding other people to lean on for support or to do things with. I definitely remember back when I was trying to cut cigarettes out of my life, one of the things that I did is a lot of the people that I hung out with were also smokers. So a few of us, to kind of like lean on each other for support, we all stopped doing it together.
Aww, that's awesome.
Exactly.
So it definitely does help to have people in your life who are also going to, well, hold you accountable to a higher standard to help you hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
And then you can gain confidence in yourself knowing that you can do it alone.
Yeah,
Go from
exactly.
there.
Right.
Perfect. So another message from Heather. So she realizes that she's a very extrinsically motivated person. For instance, going to the gym, she loves it because it makes her feel better. And as a direct result of going to the gym, it's helped her with her balance, which has helped her with one of her lifelong dreams, which was to learn to surf.
Wow. That's for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
It all comes together once you get that
it works
going.
for you.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's great. I like that.
This has been awesome. I really appreciate you guys all tuning in today and checking this out. Obviously watching our last show here in Dan's Kitchen. But that being said, you will be able to catch us on Wednesdays, 6 p.m. at All Access Fitness. We'll be doing the same live stream, but you can also come in, watch the show in person. We'll have demonstrations, interviews, lots of fun stuff, great topics to talk about, and to help continuing to motivate and educate you on living your best life. That being said, you will not be able to catch us this Wednesday. So, we're going to go 7, 8, 9, 10 days. So, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, we're going to launch our first show at All Access. So you won't be able to catch us this Sunday, you won't be able to catch us this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday you will be able to catch us. That is...
Good question.
Calendars?
Yeah.
Do them on.
Today's the 9th.
Oh boy.
I'm just going to open up the calendar on
Just
my
open
phone.
up the calendar. I don't
So,
have anything, my phone's over there.
The 19th, which is apparently Juneteenth, which is a U.S. holiday.
What?
Never heard of this before.
What?
So yeah, if anybody out there has ever heard of Juneteenth, I'd be really curious.
Interesting.
When we're, you know what? I'm going to research Juneteenth, and that's going to be something that we're going to talk about a little bit on the show on the 19th, just because I'm so curious.
Well, it should be so relatable.
Oh goodness,
that would be weird.
That would be kind of
That's
funny.
funny. Okay.
So that being said, guys, if you are currently a subscriber to our meal prep program, there's not going to be a break in that at all.
No.
You're going to continue to get your meal preps every single Monday. As we shift and change everything over, you're still going to get meal prep videos. You'll be able to find them on our YouTube channel. It's just going to take us a week and a half to kind of shift everything into the correct format so everything does go. If you are in our subscription program, you will be getting an email tomorrow with your meal prep kind of explaining how everything's going to function. So that way, hopefully, nobody gets lost in the cracks. That being said, yeah, if you guys want to, you can subscribe to our meal prep program.
Yep.
$5 a month. You get a PDF that shows you the exact recipes, measurements, grocery list, and the macro calorie measurements for the meals that we prep. So, for those of you who are dabbling into meal prep, trying to, live your best life and starting there, it is a great program because you don't have to guess, you don't have to hunt down recipes. We've measured everything out for you. You just have to follow the recipe and boom, you got 5 meals ready to go for the week.
Yep.
No brainer.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's, I think at the end of the day, that's really one of the big things that we're trying to do here as well. We're trying to take the guesswork out.
Yep.
Because there is so much information out there. There's a lot of good information, there's a lot of bad information, and there's a lot of information. So one of our jobs as Better University is to sift through all that information, take the good stuff, remove the bad stuff, and package it in a way that's going to be more digestible, easier to understand, so that way you don't have to spend all your time researching, figuring things out, reading, and trying to get to the bottom of it. Instead, you can take the bits and pieces that we give you, take what works for you, leave the things that don't, and live your best life.
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right. So hey guys, again, thanks for tuning in today. We are out, and we will see you on the 19th.
Yay!
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Whatever that is.